Good afternoon guys, it's Jenny here from Just Jenny Journaling. Welcome back to my channel. Today is a flip through of these four hardback journals that have been made for the Love Never Fails convention this year. I've done them with a kind of vintage lace type vibe really, and there are four in the collection, although one has been pre-ordered, which is this one, so that will be, I'll probably do a flip through of that at the end if we have time, but they're all very similar indeed. So they have a selection of laces, linens, and a little bit of the Stamperia old lace paper on the front that basically says love, and I've actually used a tiny bit of some vintage doily and vintage jewellery to make the little flowers, and so that on each one there are a little selection of those, and I've put some vintage jewellery on just as a little dangle on all of them, but they're all removable. So I might as well just make a start with this one. I'm going to call this one Love Never Fails, and it's going to be the vintage brown butterfly. That's how it's going to be listed, because the butterfly on the front there. So this one has, this is some like a cotton napkin, a table napkin, and some lace. The lace isn't vintage on that one. Some vintage crocheted doily at the back there. That is vintage lace. The daisies aren't. And it's a bit of the crochet doily in layers on the front there. It's got like a hitch post and tie back, and this one has altogether front and back 148 pages. Okay, so let's pop this, it's just down here, and I'll be able to do a quick flip through of it. So I'm going to start out with basically it's inside has a little pocket with some bits and pieces in it, and make sure I'm in frame, and it's got like some cardstock on the front there which gives it a bit of body. And what I've done is I've done some collage, well, a bit of layering really, with the flashcards going all the way through. So the beginning says Love Never Fails. It's got a little tag on it, and a little old stamp, a postage stamp, which you'll see throughout. I've done a removable paper, embellished paper clip with some vintage and new lace on that, so you can move that around, and you can see a bit of layering on there. So I've done, I think it's the first song for every day, and some of the basic key points from each day as well I've popped in as flashcards. You've got the Thessalonian scripture, which is just there, popped in, and this does feature the movable, what's the word, programs. The movable programs. So you've got the programs front and back, and then you can clip them. If you see it's collage there, and each one you can just move along as you do your notes. You can move them along, and so on and so forth. And some stenciling on the pages just to really get a bit of interest, because I really wanted some interest but lots of room to journal as well, so it was trying to find the balance really. Bit of vintage book, botanical book, and the flashcard Love One Another. This is writing paper with coffee dyed doily on it, so that's got the print of the doily. So you've got lines, you've got plain paper, you've got paper with a beautiful floral design on it, which has been coffee dyed. A little bit of a botanical, which is absolutely beautiful, I love it, and they all feature the same. Creation Reveals God's Love, I think that's from the Friday afternoon programme. Stenciling on the pages there again, plenty of room for journaling. and greetings card, which is plain for journaling, the Ephesian scripture for the second day. And again, back and front here you have the Saturday afternoon program, and I think I've just embellished these with some vintage repurposed really postage stamps. That's it. These are repurposed postage stamps. And it's from a stamp collector's book. Lots of little journaling spots there. And I've done a little bit of just a bit layering there. And just to say at this point that I'm going to start only because I was going to clip that in, wasn't I? Put that there to be clipped in. Anyway, that's a little butterfly that's been tea dyed. And I thought I really loved these Kate Greenaway images for the centre pages in these books because they're beautiful, and I thought they just suited the tone with the lace and linen and so on and so forth. The centre, this is the centre that's been laid with a little bit of lace, and the little butterflies, I don't know if you did the butterflies just on the ends of the centre threads, and that's laid onto a cardstock which has got vintage butterflies on it. Okay, this is from a vintage butterfly book that I have. Another flash card. I need to put that in as well. That's a little map. This is like a reproduction of a vintage map, especially for the Saturday program, where it's looking at how brothers and sisters are doing all over the world. So I thought that would be quite nice in there. I need to put that in. Displaying unfading love in. Lots of interest, but lots of places to journal as well. As I was going to say was Sunday's programme, and it's just collaged onto a pretty cardstock, and on the back it's like a vintage wallpaper, but it's not, but it's beautiful, and it's got a bit of embellishment on it. It's Sunday afternoon. I love the design on that, and they all clip in with these little brass coloured bulldog clips, which I think are beautiful. There we go. Yeah, what I was going to say was only because I'll just stop and show you how that just reflects a little bit of layering there. Just love those colours. Just love the colours. I've done little packs from this range, just this series of two little embellishment packs, which are here, which I'm going to be moving forward trying to do. So you've got like the big paper clip embellished with lace, postage stamps, some of the vintage floral, jewellery, floral doily, postage stamps. All the flash cards that you see in all of the journals are in there, and cards as well, feature cards, only because I was just thinking that for those who may miss out on these, or sometimes it's just because the time that it takes me, the cost may be quite prohibitive for some. I'll just get the back of that little pocket. So that's that first one, and then I've got this one here. Let's go through this one. I'll get my fork back in a mo. And that one has this little dangle on the back, which, as I said, I've put them on the little teardrop, paper clips, which you can take off. So if you find them too much to actually take out with you to the convention, take them off if you like, and then once you've archived and you've finished and you want to pop it on your bookshelf, it looks really nice standing on your bookshelf with the lace on the back and your sort of little bead dangle. It's a really beautiful addition. This one I've kept a bit simpler, so it's got the lace on the spine and the little panel from the old lace paper pack, and I've done a little cluster of 3 layers of the little doily pieces, actually 3 and those 4, plus the little jewellery piece there. So that's what I've done for that, and that says love on the front there, as you can see. And again, it has the hitch post and the hair tie for the opening, for the closure even. Little pocket with some bits and pieces in, and again that's got the Love Never Fails little collage on the front there, and then I've popped the embellished paper clip, and that's got what's the word, vintage, 2 vintage pieces and the new sort of lace on the embellished paper clip there, with a postage stamp and the piece of embellished cut out cardstock. And as I said, in the little paper packs you'll be getting pieces of this as well as these, and the postage stamps, as well as a little selection. I've done varieties of the paper clip. So again, it's very similar. You have your theme scripture in the front there, and I've printed out and vintage butterfly page, a little bit of layering. Again, I think that's the first song. And here you have the Friday morning program, the Friday afternoon program, just flips over on the back. And as you go along, you can move it along if you like. Just thought that's quite a nice touch for versatility when it comes to your program. Just a bit of feedback really, guys. I'm going to be doing more of embellishment packs because I think it will be easier on the purse for some. If you'd like to have like a little bit of a vintage feel to your notebook or journal, you could buy one, or you could make a little one if you like, if that's what you do, if you're into journal making, or you could buy one and add some bits too. I haven't done programs for this little set. If you'd like me to, do let me know. And I'm just trying out to see how that goes, but I know it'll be easier on postage costs and things, won't it? Should you miss out on one of these and like one or like the look of it. So that's more of that writing paper with the doily on it. I don't know if you can see the doily print, the vintage botanical book. Flash card there from the Friday afternoon program, and across to here I've popped together. So that one goes that way. So that's the Saturday program, and I've just done a little bit of embellishment. To be careful not to get too carried away, because obviously you need to be able to write on it, so it doesn't need to be too uneven a surface. Put the map page in there from an atlas, because of looking at different parts of the world on the Saturday program. Vintage botanical, bit of Kate Greenaway, and that's what I've done for this one. Bit of layering on that centre page, which I think I just love the colours. I love her illustrations. Love the way the colours fall, and there's little butterflies on the ends of the tie, the middle tie. In fact, there are butterfly punch outs as well in the embellishment kit for you to do with what you wish. Botanical, Kate Greenaway. So we'll be doing some plainer notebooks, I think, some little journals in the next few weeks, a little series that I've picked up, and a vintage book that I'm going to repurpose. Oh, that's gorgeous. And I may just pop those together with the option of you adding an embellishment pack for making a convention notebook if you like, or not. of layering there on that side, just once in a while. Lots of space for note taking. Stenciling just to break up the page. Little envelope there if you like to tuck something in. Might have like some of your ID cards, the contact cards, or I like how this turns out. I really enjoy doing that. I think that's gorgeous. And again, these are in the embellishment pack, and cards like this would have one of these cards. That one. So that's that one, and the last one for sale will be this one. I've done it a little bit differently. I'm going to call this one, it's just basically Love Never Fails in black, really. It's the only black one. The others are all brown. So that's got some lace on the back. That's sort of vintage lace on the back, on the spine, and that has like a linen doily, some new lace. That's vintage lace, new lace. What's the word again? Doily piece that I've taken to bits and added this beautiful piece of jewellery to. And this one is a double tie with black lace. Okay, so I hope. And that one again has the front pocket that you can slip something in. And again, I don't know if you can see on the first page there, it's got the old lace cardstock with a little tab that says love on it. And then on the inside I've done the little collage for the Love Never Fails with the old stamp, and again a butterfly, and on this side you've got a little bit of a layered page with a giant paper clip that's got some lace on it, like a trim, a piece of trim that I've cut out. Okay. Once again, you have the, maybe you can see that. I'm going to just hurry this up a little bit, guys. Don't want to go over 20 minutes because it starts to play up. Very similar outlook, layout again with this one. Little tab that I got. Just love how delicate that is. Beautiful botanical page. Bit of wallpaper, envelope, and again this one that says that's a Saturday. That's a Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon program. The Ephesians scripture. How we do for time, 18. Okay. Just a little label on the bottom there. Plenty of interest. I don't know about you. I quite happily write all round wherever I find a space, but you might want to keep these clear if you want to, but there are these little spaces for writing. I love this. Beautiful, beautiful image. Another. They all four actually have the Kate Greenaway centre page, and the botanical colouring book, the stenciling, the postage stamp embellishments as well. It's Sunday afternoon, Sunday morning. There. Remember How Love Behaves. I really loved how that layering page turned out. Public talk title there, and that's in your embellishment kit too. all of the flashcards that you see in here, and these have been duplicated, as well as the little back embellishment pieces too. If you can see how beautiful that end paper is. So that's it, guys. I'm going to leave it there. These will be listed on my Etsy shop, and I'll be listing the embellishment packs as well. I'm trying to find out, figure out a really good price for them. I said it's not going to be huge on postage, which has been great. I'm not going to have time to do the flip through of Miranda's, which is pre-sold, but it's very similar. It's very similar indeed to the ones that you've seen. That's for her, so just do a quick. This is Miranda's. This is pre-done, pre-ordered. So yeah, I hope you like them. I think you'll enjoy using them. If you like something vintage, a little bit different on the eye for your notes to look back on. It's a real pleasure to be able to look back on your notes in something like this. So take care, guys, and thank you for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.